How's it going, guys? It's Timmy Joe making videos about computers on the internet, and it's a balmy, like, 28 degrees Celsius in this room. This computer is running IDA64 and FurMark, and it's throttling right now, and oh my goodness, I'm happy because this is the second last computer that I'll build for YouTube in this room. I'm going to be moving out of here soon. I probably already said this in a very similar looking video to this, but I built two last computers in here, and this is a case review on this beautiful... That's right, there is a see-through plastic acrylic panel over that only intake fan there on the ASA ARC 241 case I bought because it was the only tempered glass case in and around $50-$60 on Newegg that I could find. Actually, someone on Instagram had DM'd me and said, like, look at this case, isn't that stupid? And I was like, I'm gonna buy it. So here it is. So thanks, guy on Instagram. Hopefully you're seeing this video, but yeah, it has RGB. It has tempered glass. It was $64.99 with a $15 mail-in rebate. It's the ASA ARC 241, and here, building a computer, and then we'll talk about the case and how stupid it is. So we've got IDA64 and FurMark running on this system. It's an i5 7600K overclocked to 4.8 gigahertz with a 3 heat pipe cryo rig tower cooler on it and one fan. The case is the ASA ARC 241, as I said. It's got a 5600 XT in here, a thick from XFX, and one intake fan that is covered up by plastic and RGB goo. And you can't even change the lights. It just goes RGB puke, RGB puke, RGB puke, red, blue, green, yellow, RGB puke. It just cycles through that. It's a Molex connection fan, or it does have a DC input, but no PWM on it. And it's like one of those DIY PC cases that has like no intake on the front, except for there is a fan, but it's only got this tiny little ring of openness here to allow for thermals. And these aren't the hottest components in here, and we see throttling. Well, here, I'll go ahead and film it for you over here. We see some throttling on the CPU, and yeah, that's a little scary. And then we come over here, yeah, it's getting to 99 degrees on the package. That's always great. And then we've got 81 degrees, and it looks like some, maybe a little bit of throttling on the GPU, but the air coming in from this might actually be hitting the GPU first. So, maybe the air is actually getting to the GPU a little bit and then exiting out. And then I put the power supply so that it it exhausts the air from around this area. So we do have an exhaust here. But this case comes with no other fans at all. So if you're going to buy this case, you're going to need to supply your own fans. And I wanted to kind of prove that. You could use this case for a build. And we're going to get some better temperatures by adding 2 more fans. And you could take 2 crappy $2 fans, install them here and here, and probably fix the thermals on this case, even though it has the stupidest RGB puke little intake there. We'll see. So the whole idea here is we're at 81 degrees on the GPU, and it's running at about 1500 megahertz game clock with FurMark running. And then the CPU is throttling at anywhere between 90 to 100 degrees. And we see that the clock speed is getting down to, well, it's at 4.8 gigahertz, but it goes down for a second every time it hits 100 degrees. There we go, and then it goes back up. So there's a little bit of thermal throttling here, but the whole idea is if I put a fan here, because there is a little bit of room, there is a dust filter, there is 2 fans that can be installed on the top of the case. If you installed one here so that it's blowing into the the tower cooler, and then one at the back exhausting some heat, I think we could alleviate all these temperature concerns. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the fans, and we'll see how she does. Okie dokie, so I got the fans installed and things are immediately better. We've got IDA 64 running for about 12 minutes now and FurMark, and we fixed all the thermal issues with this case. Number one, this stupid thing, I removed it and instantly we get 5 degrees-ish on the GPU in 28 degrees in here. It's gotta be 30 degrees Celsius. It's hot in my room right now. So I don't think GPU thermals, even with this thing, were too big a problem, but I mean, why did you make it like this? Make the mold have a bunch of perforations. And then you couldn't stick your finger in it, but it would, you know, you put a honeycomb on here, and it's clear. It would have been perfect. I honestly didn't think it had a plastic thing that was in the way of this. I just took it out because it'll give better airflow into the GPU and basement area of the case. But the problem was the CPU. So we were hitting 100 degrees and throttling at 4.8 gigahertz on this Core i5 60 or 7600K. And well, here, let's check it out. We've got no issues with the with, you know, 76 degrees, and it's hitting 1550. That's the game boost clock that it's supposed to be hitting. It's a little bit better than it was before, but we were worried about that 100 degrees it was hitting on the CPU package before. We're now at 85, 82. It's hovering between 80 and 90 degrees, and no thermal throttling warning whatsoever. So all it took was, you know, even just if you had 2 crappy Molex fans installed in this thing, and you charged $2 more, $4, $5 more, whatever it takes to get 2 crappy fans in here from the factory, and have one installed here and one installed there, assuming you're going to be air cooling in this case, because putting an AIO in this case, I mean, it could be done, but I wouldn't recommend it because there's no airflow in the front, right? And I don't think you could fit an AIO and the fans at the top here. So really you're limited to, you know, air cooling in this case. A big tower like this, you know, a Hyper 212 Evo is going to be great for this case, but make sure you buy 2 extra fans, one to intake at the top here and one to intake at the back. And even if they're crappy fans, they're going to provide the airflow that's missing from the front of this case. And then would I recommend, you know, getting rid of this plastic cover? Absolutely, but that's going to be up to you. But would I recommend this case? No. Unfortunately, it was just the best tempered. It's a pretty nice looking case for the price I got it for. It's like around 45, 50 bucks American I got this case for, especially if you count that $15 mail-in rebate they got right now. But I didn't really see any reviews on this, and the stupid fan in the front and the fan it sent me, you know, I thought it'd be a good video to do, but we fixed the thermals in it. It's never hit any more than 89 degrees on the CPU package just by putting a fan in here. And I actually went into the BIOS and I set those fans to basically silent during normal operation, and in an event like this, when we're really cooking and, you know, we got 28 degree balmy weather in the room, the fans will kick on and go at about 65%. They become audible, but they don't become terrible. And I assume during gaming, this computer will be nice and quiet for whatever I end up doing it with it. So I'm at Watch Timmy Joe Instagram and Twitter. This has been a review of the AZA ARC 241, a case that I never should have bought, but out of necessity I bought it, and it looks really half decent, even if that's a little goofy, that front fan intake thingamabob. But when you remove this and you put a couple fans in it, you can fix it, my friends, you can fix it. So it's one of the last videos I'm shooting in this balmy little room, and I gotta thank you guys for watching. It's gonna be a little bit of sparse content for the next couple weeks as I get set up in my new office and do some excavating on my front lawn. But come mid-June, it's gonna be an all-out gangbang of content here on the channel. So yeah, as a ARC 241, find a better case, even if it's a good price, or deal with it like I did. You can figure it out. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Woo!